Hello, beautifuls. Nice to be with you here. Today I'm going to be doing a video answering all of your questions that you've sent in about detoxing. So thank you for taking the time to send them in. I have a huge list of questions and I'm going to dive right in just one moment. Firstly, I just wanted to send a message to all of you watching to say thank you for showing up. Thank you for being part of my group and participating in this program. I'm loving how much engagement there's been where you're sharing your questions and I'm answering and other people are sharing their experiences as well. And I'm loving the community that we're creating. And I'm going to be keeping this going for as long as you guys are here and active with me. And please invite your friends. Let's spread detox into the world because right now we need it more than ever. And that's why I created this group as a free offering, because I really feel compelled to share detox because I know how much it's changed my life and how much it's helped me not only to feel better in my body, but how my life is transformed in every single way. So you're doing the work, and when you're clearing your vessel, you're clearing your body, you create space for new things to come. It's literally detoxing your emotions as well, because when we have a toxic body, the emotions can actually hide. So when people detox, sometimes they're like, I'm feeling emotional or I'm feeling stressed. And if you've got stuff hidden away, that has to leave the body somehow. And when that starts to leave the body, you can start to feel a bit agitated, especially if you're working on the liver, if you're working on the kidneys, maybe it can be things around fear or stability. All sorts of different things can come up. So feel it all. When you feel it all, you support it to leave your body. And just be gentle with yourself. I know that detoxing can be extremely overwhelming, and that's why I'm doing my best to provide as much information as possible, but not too much either at the same time, trying not to share more than 1 or 2 posts a day. And in this video, being able to answer all of your questions as well. So I'm going to dive right in. And if anything comes up for you when watching this, please leave a comment, let me know. And I will definitely come back to you and answer your question or do another video to expand. But please ask as many questions as you need. That's what this group is for. So yeah, thank you again. And I'm going to dive right in. Okay, so how to deal with constipation and achieving 2 to 3 bowel movements a day. So I shared in the group, I think it was just yesterday, about the importance of going to have 2 to 3 bowel movements a day. Now, the reason why it's important when you're detoxing to have regular bowel movements is because you have toxins leaving your body, and you have 5 channels of elimination, with the colon and the stomach being one of them. You've also got the kidneys, the lungs, the skin, and the, I'm having a mind blank, the lungs. So it's important that you're working on all of these, but the colon, when that's properly emptying, it then supports the other organs to work with ease. So that's why we first focus on working on the colon. So I've recommended a few different strategies to support you. One is the colon capsules. I've shared a link to these. If you can't get your hands on these colon capsules, feel free to ask me for other suggestions based on what you've got locally to you. But Triphala is a beautiful Ayurvedic herb that I cannot recommend enough as well, which could be something beautiful to work with. So with the colon capsules or the Triphala, it's about finding the right amount to be taking to suit your body. So keep upping it until you are achieving 2 to 3 bowel movements a day. If you're juicing, obviously you're not going to be having anything coming out. So that's a different story. But if you're eating food right now, you're at level 2 and still level 1 or 2 and you're still eating food, you should be having 2 to 3 bowel movements a day. And that's what we're working towards. This is the most important thing, because if you go too deep into detox and the body's not eliminating properly, then you're missing the point and you're not going to get results. You're going to get skin breakouts, which I know a few of you have mentioned, which I'll talk about shortly, and all other things are going to come up. So the herbs are definitely something that you can implement. The other thing is colonics and enemas. The colonics and enemas are going to help empty everything out, and eventually things will regulate on their own. And I know some people have a lot of fear about enemas, and if that's you, please let me know. But enemas are incredibly safe, and I mean, it's safer to be doing an enema than to be keeping these toxins in your body. Yes, there is risk of enema dependency, But I know many people in this detox community that did enemas every day, sometimes twice a day for over 2 years in order to heal their digestion. And I've had spurts in my life where I've done them a lot, and then other times I felt I've not needed to. But if you're constipated and you're not going, you need to be doing enemas or colonics. It's absolutely essential, or you need to review what you're doing. And a lot of people live their lives constipated, where they're going once a day or once every second day, or I've heard people that go once a week, and that is not healthy. Where's everything going? It doesn't leave the body in any other way. That waste needs to come out of your body, and if it doesn't, it's gonna calcify and make like a plaque all around the inside of the colon wall, and it goes like a thick black sludge. And I've seen this stuff come out of people. I've seen photos. I've seen it come out of me too. This thick black sludge which coats the inside of the colon, and then it stops you being able to absorb things, and people wonder why they're malnourished. So getting your colon working is so essential. Other things to do is ensuring that you're hydrated. So the optimal hydration is going to come from the food that you're eating. So eating foods that hydrate the body, which is fruits, melons, cucumbers, things like that, and beautiful juices. So upping that is going to be absolutely key. And moving your body. You need to move things, ideally first thing in the morning before you eat. I wouldn't be eating anything until you've had a bowel movement. This is my rule. If I've not been to the toilet, I will not eat until I do, even if that means all day long. Because if you're eating food on top of what you had the night before and you've still not been to the toilet, you're just going to have this food fermenting on top. And this is why a lot of people that eat fruit in the morning, they say, oh, fruit doesn't agree with me. And it's because the fruit's going to ferment and sit on top of what you've had the night before. So it's really important you wait till your bowel is empty before consuming more food. So that's my main tips, and that's kind of what I implement. But something else is breathing, stomach massage, do whatever it takes. There's some incredible yoga positions that you can do, so many YouTube videos. I'm happy to share some if you need. But there's so many things you can do to help with your digestion, but it's about giving your body time. We're always so chaotic and rushed. And when you're rushed, what happens? Everything contracts. Your whole stomach contracts, and it's not safe to go to the toilet. It's too worried about everything else that's going on. So give your body time. Sit on the toilet and wait. Men are a lot better than this than women, I've noticed. But sit on the toilet, ladies. Men too, if you're watching this, but it seems to be mostly women in this group at the moment. Sit on the toilet, and also learn how to sit on the toilet properly. The squat position is so much better to allow things to flow through with ease. So I can definitely suggest looking at doing that too. I know that's a lot of information, but I cannot stress how important it is to get things moving. And one other thing I want to share with you as well, actually. Your facial expressions are a direct representation of what is going on in your gut. So if you're like this, what do you think's happening on the inside? Everything's like this, and it's tight and it's contracted. I mean, how many people do you see pulling funny faces? So relax your face. Make noises. And this is going to relax your whole body. So, yes. And now diving into the question about breakouts during detox, because I know it's horrible. I mean, I have been on the biggest detox journey, and I've done it wrong, I've done it right, and then I've done it wrong again, and I've had terrible breakouts. I remember I did 9 months raw vegan, and I was eating so many nuts and seeds and fats and wondering what was going on. I also wasn't eliminating properly, and my kidneys weren't filtering, my colon wasn't emptying, I wasn't having regular bowel movements. So because of these little missing pieces to the puzzle, because I wasn't educated and I didn't know, and I was also not willing to get support, I was just watching videos and not part of a group like this, not having a coach, which I eventually got, and having all of that is what helped me learn and understand, because we've lost touch with our bodies. We don't know how they need to function, and we're so reliant on Google and information that we just don't know how to human anymore. So if you're getting breakouts or any other detox symptoms like headaches, body pains, anything like that, there's different things that you can try, and enemas and colonics are definitely one of them. You can also look to slow down the detox, so you can take it back a level. If you're at level 2, maybe go back to level 1 for a bit, because there's no rush. Our bodies are so toxic, and if you push it, then you're going to have these breakouts and things. So take your time and enjoy the ride. There is absolutely no rush. Definitely taking herbs to support your colon and liver at minimum, but the skin is the third kidney. So if your skin's breaking out, there's a high chance that your kidneys aren't properly filtering, and then your skin is filtering. And for me, I still struggle with my skin. I still get the odd breakouts. I'm not sure if you've seen my before and after photos that I've shared, but I've come a long way. I had terrible cystic acne, and now I just have a slightly uneven skin tone, and I get the odd spot here and there, but I know that it's going to get better because every day gets better. And it's been years, like absolutely years. I used to be covered head to toe in psoriasis as well, and I've been through it all. I've been through a lot, and I know how uncomfortable it is, but I've got the results and I know what works, and that's why I'm so passionate about helping others. So if your skin is breaking out, number one, thank your body. It's cleaning, it's getting rid of the stuff. It's got to get out somehow. But it's about getting your kidneys to open. And eating fruit is certainly going to help that. That's one of the best things you can possibly do. Doing this detox, getting the other eliminative channels working, breathing deeply, ensuring you're getting regular bowel movements, body brushing the skin, steaming, saunas, cold therapy, ensuring you're getting adequate exercise. All of these things in conjunction with this program is going to help you. Cutting the fats is also going to be absolutely key. But just know when you do cut the fats is when you could have a big detox die-off. But sit through it. If you can push through it, I promise you it will get better. Why are herbs important, and what to do if you cannot get the herbs suggested? Okay, that's a great question. Herbs are important because they support your body to eliminate what's going on, to regulate, to remineralize, whatever is going on within your body. And the detox kits that are suggested have been specifically crafted for detox. So they work on the different elimination channels, and they also work on the blood, which is an elimination channel, but it needs to be filtered, and then it's emptied in other ways. So yeah, the herbs are really great for that. But there's many herbs. In most places around there are herbs, and you could even look at finding a local herbalist to make you up something with local medicine, which could be really beautiful as well. Or there's many other brands you can buy online or in your local pharmacies. It's difficult for me to make suggestions because there is so many different brands and so many different things you can try. So if you're really struggling with wanting a herbal protocol, post in the group and I'll do my best to help you there. Or we may need to look at doing a private consultation as well. So let's just tune in, and I hope that I can help you. But Ming herbs are shipping to most places around the world. Someone did just recently get a little bit of a hold up with customs in the UK because they're cracking down on all products, but they did eventually get the herbs. So if you do get any problems, let me know, because I'm here in Bali with Ming herbs. I was actually recently with Hang, who makes them all. They're all packaged at his home here in Bali by hand. It's absolutely beautiful, and I went and saw how it's all done. And he was actually making up some tonics on the stove that I got to try. And I can speak to them directly for you if you're having any problems. So it feels really beautiful to be supporting a local Balinese company and to be working with their herbs, which have changed my life. So if you have any questions about the herbs, please reach out specifically, and I hope that's answered the question about why they're important. So yeah. And being overwhelmed, I am very overwhelmed with information and I don't know what to believe. Do you have any advice? Oh, I feel you. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I went around and around and around in circles with this. I would watch videos over and over again, and I got so consumed in this. And I mean, it was my university of life, and I wouldn't change it for the world, because it's led me to being here in front of you teaching. It led me to training in this work. But it was so overwhelming, and one article would say one thing and then I'd watch a video which would say another, and I'm like, what do I believe? Maybe some of you were thinking, how can I trust this woman? Can I even believe Jodie? And you know what? I'm going to tell you, you can't believe anyone. You need to tune into your heart, into your inner knowing, because you know what's right for your body. We as humans make babies, which is magic. And if any of you have had children, I haven't, but I've spoken to many women who have, and they just know what to do when the baby's born. So we know what to do. We just have to remember how. So I invite you, if something doesn't feel right, go there. Is your mind telling you not to eat it because of something you read? Or do you deeply know it's not good for you? Because we are all unique and we are all going through different experiences. For example, if I'm going through stress, I need more grounding foods. Around my period, I need more grounding foods. So it's really, really essential that you listen to your body. And then the overwhelm starts to go away. And I've actually almost finished a book about intuitive eating, which will be a free book that I'll be sharing with you. And it teaches you how to step into this intuition that lives inside of all of us to help you make decisions that used to feel overwhelming. I used to write lists about what to eat and measuring my food and so many things that I wasted hours of my life, and you don't need to do that. So I'm going to share this book with you at some point soon, which I know will deeply help you. So yeah, hope that answers the question too. How to rebuild skin, nails, teeth, and hair. Mine are weak since I started detoxing. Yes. Okay. So when you detox, what can happen is you start to lose minerals, and that is something that can happen. But during detox, the focus isn't about building. We're stripping the body, and then we come into a phase of rebuilding. Where a lot of people in the detox world go wrong is they strip. They never rebuild. And it's really important to cycle detoxing. So I really encourage people to do a detox and a bit of rebuilding and going back into detox and doing it like that. And that's what I do on my client programs. We go in and out, and that's how I live my life. I wait until I feel a bit sluggish. Maybe I'm getting more breakouts than normal, or I tend to get a bit puffy. When these things happen, I'm like, okay, it's time to cleanse again. And I just listen to my body. But you know what? I want to enjoy life. I want to enjoy food. And when I say enjoy, I'm not eating gluten pizza or cheese or dairy or meat or anything like that. But I want to be able to enjoy other things and have healthy fats. And I want to be able to have chickpea pancakes, which are one of my favorites, and eat the foods that are delicious. And I still have pizza. I've got an amazing recipe for pizza that I'd love to share with you. I even make my own mozzarella cheese. It's incredible. And that's something that I have when I'm transitioning. It's definitely not a food that I have every day. And I don't want it every day. It doesn't feel right. So what was I talking about? Yeah, rebuilding the hair, skin, and nails. So yes, that's what happens when you transition out. But something to be really mindful of is when you're detoxing and the acids are leaving your body. I mean, I've seen people lose teeth and nails, people losing their hair. I don't want to scare you, and these things don't need to happen. If you take detox slowly, these things won't happen. So it's all about taking the time to really cleanse your body gently, because then you're not going to hurt it. And when you do things slowly, it also allows you to see what's working and what's not. And then it makes you want to stick to it. You're like, I feel so good since I stopped eating dairy. And then you never want to eat it again because you feel so good. So I invite you to take your time. And when you are in a rebuilding phase, there's some beautiful products that you can take. There's fulvic and humic minerals, which usually come in a liquid that taste like nothing. And you can take these and add these into your diet. Ming herbs also have an incredible mineral formula, which I can highly recommend, which you can take as well. And adding in more greens and things like that is what's going to really make a difference. So yeah, when we get to the end of this cleanse, I'll be talking more about rebuilding, but at the moment I wouldn't worry about it too much. And if it is concerning you, like I said previously, step it back a little bit. You don't need to rush. So yeah. Why do we stop taking healthy fats on detox? Great question. So fats are where toxins hide. So if you're consuming lots of fats, the toxins are just going to be hiding away in there. And that's why people get such great results when they cut the toxins, because when they cut the fats, because the toxins can finally leave the body. So that's why we stop them. Also, the liver, you might have heard of something called fatty liver. And it's not something that I know a lot about the science of it, so to speak. But when you stop having the fats, it allows the liver to start to remove some of that fatty buildup, which then means that the liver can function. And the liver is your master detoxification organ. So cutting fats gives your body a break. But fats are an incredible thing to have in your diet. So I'm not saying to cut them forever. And again, this is where some people go wrong when they're detoxing. But fats are a big world, and it's a big topic. And the simplest way to explain it is fats, there's different types of fats which constitute, they all have different ratios of omegas 3, 6, or 9. You may have heard of omegas being an essential part of your diet, and a lot of people saying that they come from meat and fish as the major source, which is true, but there are also many other plant-based omegas, and you want to have more 3s than the 6s and 9s. But the trouble is, processed foods are so high in 6 and 9, and this has all of the canola, I've got sun shining in half my face, the canola oils, the vegetable oils, and these oils are just really high in 6 and 9. Even your olive oil and your coconut oil, these also are high in the 6 and 9. So if you're consuming these oils, you need to balance that. And the way to balance that is a lot of greens. Flax seeds are amazing, but they have to be ground. And that's basically the best way, unless you're taking a supplement, which I'm trying to not take too many supplements. You know, already with the herbs that I take is a lot. I don't want to be adding more things in, and it's very difficult to get a good plant-based omega-3. So my approach is to ensure that I'm having enough greens in my diet if I am having something, but I generally don't use any oils unless I really, really need to. Nuts as well, these come into those 6 and 9 categories too. I forget which one, but they're not high in your 3s. They do have, some of the nuts have more 3s than others, but flax seeds are going to be your best bet. Also, chia seeds are quite high in omega-3 as well, but even avocados aren't. So yeah, I really encourage you to, if you are having fats at the moment, to look at putting some ground flax seeds and ensuring you're having enough greens. Like making big green dressings is a great way to have enough greens in your diet. You can even put some flax seeds through those. I love making a basil pesto, and you can make them fat-free as well. It doesn't need to have the oil in it. So there's many different ways that you can work around this, but I really do encourage you to try even 2-3 days just that fat and see how your body feels. A good way to measure if you are struggling to digest fats is to eat something fatty. Have a big cup of coconut cream, maybe in a smoothie or something, and see if you feel sluggish afterwards. Or eat like a big thing of guacamole and see how your body feels. And if you're finding that you're feeling sluggish, that's a really good indication that you need to detox from fats for a while. And this happens to me. Like there's no finish line. I'll start adding fats in, and then I'll notice that I need to detox them out again. So just listen to your body. It always knows. So I've just realized that I'm already half an hour in, and I'm not even halfway through all of your questions. So I did try and put the ones that I thought were the most important at the beginning. So I'm just going to get through as many as I can, because watching the video more than an hour I know is too much, and then maybe I'll look to do another one or answer your questions in another way. So yes, so I'm going to try race through. I've got someone that's asked me why I don't drink water, and a lot of people really freak out when I say I don't drink water, and I haven't really drunk much water for years. I've had many people tell me that I'm insane and that I need to drink water and that it's dangerous. So what I urge you to do is, again, ask your body what it needs. Do you need to be drinking water? When you drink water, how does it make you feel? Do you have a desire to drink water? And tune into that. And if a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, I hate water, I don't want to drink water. Well, listen to that. But other people are like, no, I love drinking water. Well, listen to that. Because where you're at right now might indicate that you need to have it. Because if you're having a diet, lots of processed foods and lots of salt, well, then you need a lot to flush that out, and you do need to have the water. So tune into your body. But a really great substitute is herbal tea, because then you're at least getting some minerals or some other form of nutritional benefits within that. So the sun's like going up and down, and I'm probably changing colors and all sorts, but yeah. So I get my hydration from the food I eat. Because I eat mostly fruit and salads, I'm getting enough hydration from that. But it is something that I'm constantly checking in with to make sure I'm having enough hydration. So sometimes, occasionally, I'll go out and I'll have a salad or something. And if they put a bit of salt in the dressing, then I find I need more hydration because salt dehydrates me. So I really just recommend to tune into your body. And sometimes I have to have water because I can't get my hands on anything else. So yeah, but this is a big topic, and most people aren't ready to go to this stage as yet. So I feel like once you've really cleaned up your body, it's more achievable. But right now, maybe you need to have the water. But if you do like one day all in fruit, you'll find, oh wow, like I'm so hydrated. So yeah, I mean, I think watermelon's like 95 or 96% water. So yeah. How do we balance detoxing with enjoying life, not being too strict, but still being loving and kind with our body? Okay, so this is the intuitive eating lifestyle. It's about tuning into your body and what it needs. And when you do that, you get to the point that you just know what to eat. You know what you can eat, and you don't want to eat foods that harm your body. Now, I understand when it comes to eating out with friends, going to friends' houses, eating is a huge part of socializing. And we can feel like outsiders if we're not part of that. But there's so many ways around that. You can take your own food, you can eat beforehand, you can call the restaurant ahead of time. So if it's eating out that's bothering you, there's always a way. But if you're like, I want to have a break, but I want to eat dairy, gluten, and meat again. Okay, well, it's still going to benefit you to detox. It's taking a break. And then maybe you won't eat those things as often, if that's what you choose. For me, I went down this path and now I just don't want to eat those things because I feel so good in my body. So this is your journey and your experience. If you're here detoxing, you're doing your body the world of good, and that's amazing. And if you then want to go eat those foods again, great. The only thing I really urge is you add them back in slowly. If you do a 10-day juice fast and then you go and eat a glutinous pizza, that's going to damage your body. So it's better not detoxing in the first place. If you're still battling with binge eating problems, I did for a long time, so I won't share this in any way to judge you. I know it's hard. I was a closet binge eater for a really long time, and no one knew, and I had no idea I had a problem. And if I were to do a fast and restrict myself, I'd then binge even more. So if you're going through a binge eating problem, feel free to reach out in the group, or if you don't feel safe, you can message me privately about that too, because I know it's very vulnerable, and I would love to support you with some strategies around that as much as I can, over social media. But just knowing that someone is here for you and someone that's been through it, I understand. And I feel you if you're going through that right now. And I know it's hard, but I feel going into a big detox probably isn't the best thing for you necessarily, and just to take it slow. So yeah, I feel like balancing and enjoying life, it all should be a balancing act. But during a detox, sometimes you will need to push yourself a bit more. But like I said, depends where you're at. Is going fully raw vegan, is that the way? Well, raw vegan can be many different things. And Raw vegan is great because you're getting all the enzymes, you're eating living foods, and ultimately we're all designed to just live off fruit. But do you want to do that? Maybe you do. I personally don't. I'm a foodie. I love to make food and I love to make creations and I love to cook for people. So food is always going to be part of my life. Well, at the moment anyway. So for me, I don't want to go fully raw vegan. And what I love about the training that I've done is all around living mucus free. And that's the name of my teacher. Her name's 𝐸𝐶𝐮𝐸, and she's been one of my incredible teachers on this journey that has guided me, and what I love about her approach. And I'm actually living with her right now in Bali. So we have dinner together every evening. And what I love about her approach is it doesn't all have to be raw. And that's because we only eat foods that are cleansing for the body and don't create mucus, because mucus is where all disease can hide, and pathogens and all sorts is what clogs up our body. So the amazing thing is you can have, when you're eating mucus free, you can still have steamed veggies and soups and things like that. And then there's what's called mucus lean, which is more the transitional foods where you can have some fats and things, because fats still create a little bit of mucus in the body. But then there's other things you can have, like chickpea flour or spelt flour and different things like that, that you can still make pizzas and stuff. It's incredible. So from my perspective, that's really exciting for me. I forgot where I was talking about, the raw vegan movement. So no, you don't need to be raw vegan, but a diet of a lot of raw food is important. You know, we want to be eating living foods, because when you cook things, a lot of it does die. But, you know, you're eating the vegetables in a different way to the fruits, for example. You know, the vegetables are more like builders for the body, and the fruits are more cleansing and detoxifying. And I mean, if you're going to eat something cooked, it's really important to have something raw with it. And I love to add sprouts on top of everything. Sprouts are really high in minerals. So the question about your nails and hair, sprouts are amazing. I forgot to mention those. So always having something raw. And the reason for that is when you're having something raw, you've got the enzymes which help you break down cooked food. That's really important. So yeah, obviously avoiding cooking oils, that's where it gets really bad and yucky. So yeah, so yes, raw vegan's great, and I encourage you to have that as most of your diet, but you can still have some some cooked food if you would like to. So yeah, I believe life is here to be enjoyed. So that's just my personal approach, and if you're here with me, I'm guessing you're probably wanting something similar. So I'm getting really cold on detox. Is this normal, and what to do? Well, this kind of ties into the last question and the next one about the benefits of ginger tea and warming spices. So when I went raw vegan, I was so cold. And what I didn't understand was I needed to be having warming spices and things to keep my body, the fire in my body. So what happened was when I started to eat again, I had no digestive fire. And that's why ginger tea and bitter herbs, things like rocket or agula, I think that's how you say it in other name, are really important to have these bitter things. Dandelion teas also incredible. There's an incredible dandelion tea is an amazing coffee substitute. It tastes amazing. So things like that are really worth exploring to keep the digestive fire going. Ginger tea is incredible, but also the spleen, which works all in the family of the organs. The spleen's actually heavily connected to worry too. Needs warming spices, or it doesn't work. It doesn't do its job, and it does many things within the body that are absolutely essential. And if that's not working properly, you're going to struggle to detox. So I really, really, really urge you to ensure you're having some spice, get some chili and things. And with chili, this is also a great area. Like if you're having a lot of anxiety, chili and stuff can stimulate you. So it is a bit of a juggling act, but ginger, you can't go wrong. You really can't go wrong. I love that cayenne and dressings and jalapenos, I think that's how you say it. I'm always writing it, not really speaking about them often. So yeah, but the warming things are going to help keep you warm. So yeah, work with that and have some broths. Like I love making miso soups and veggie broths. They're super nutrient dense. So add spices into your way, and spices and warmth into your diet in that way. How to ensure you are getting adequate nutrition, enough protein, vitamin B group, and calcium, which is so important as women. Amazing question. Oh, I'm always asked this. I'm always asked this. B12, am I getting enough B12? Am I getting enough vitamins? Well, meat eaters are some of the people that are having the least absorption in their bodies of these things. And so many people take vitamins and they're just not even being absorbed in the colon because they've got that thick coating on the inside. So a lot of people are putting their money down the drain by taking supplements and things. So the first step, you clear out your body, and then anything you do take is going to be absorbed incredibly. So no, when you're detoxing, you don't need to worry about these things. And then, but I mean, the herbs are going to give you a lot of these things anyway, because it's from the natural, purest source. And your food, if you're eating a varied if you're eating a varied diet with lots of different colors, you're going to be fine. It's got everything that you need. And there are some foods that you can implement when you're rebuilding that have the full amino acid profile. Amino acids are the building blocks of protein anyway. So there's foods like spirulina, quinoa, chia seeds, and then these have a lot of the amino acids, but then all of your foods have them in there. So by having a variety, you're going to get enough. So it's not something you need to worry about. Having a diverse gut bacteria even somehow builds B12 in your gut for you. So this is why it's so important, and it could save you a lot of money too. So no, you don't need to worry about these things at all. How are we going for time? Oh, good. I'm getting there. Actually, I might get through the list. That's exciting. How to shift my relationship with food. So in my intuitive free eating book that I will be bringing out very soon, I've almost finished it. It's looking so amazing. I cannot wait to share it with you. It's over 50 pages and I'm really excited to be giving this away as a gift. And in this book, it's all about healing your relationship with food. It's about trusting yourself and knowing it's okay. And when you do eat something bad, changing that around. It's like, I feel like eating something yummy and I'm going to nourish my body. Shifting the language around how you eat. And once you do start cleansing your body, you'll naturally be more intuitive about how and what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat. So just be kind to yourself. I know it's hard, and especially if you're binge eating or not eating enough, or like body shaming and all these things are coming up. Let's open this up. Like, if these things are coming up for you in the group and you have the courage to share it, let's talk about it together. Let's rise together, because so many people are ashamed of their eating habits, and a lot of this stems from childhood. I'll just quickly share my story. When I was younger, my parents, if I didn't finish the food on my plate, they would make me sit at the dinner table for hours until I did, or make me eat it for breakfast. And if I was really, really cheeky, they'd put me in the backyard and put it over my head. Now, my parents are not horrible people. That's not why I'm sharing this story. I love them dearly, and I'm so grateful for everything they've taught me. But this taught me to eat everything on my plate, even if I wasn't hungry. They didn't realize what they were doing. They did it. It came from a place of love. They just wanted their daughter to be healthy and have enough food. But we as children know what we need to eat and how much we need to eat. So then when that happened, I forgot my body's hunger signals. So I've had to relearn them. And in this book, I talk about that. And this is something that you can do too. So I really urge you to talk up about what's coming up for you, and we rise in this together. Okay, what's next? I would love to know more about the process of detoxing trauma out of the body and some practical tools that support the process. I love this topic. I love talking about this so much. So thank you for, I can't remember who brought it up, but thank you for suggesting this. So detox. When you detox your body, you create space, and that allows the traumas and emotions to surface. So that you detoxing is already like a huge chunk of the journey. But there's so much more. It's when you feel something and something's coming up, you need to feel it. Talking about it's great, but you need to feel it, sit with it, and then it will eventually pass through the body. I recently was living with some people over in Gili Island in Indonesia, and we got stuck together for 2.5 months during the corona. And one of the guys that was there, he shared with me that he would go into a process of crying, and he'd just feel it and feel it and feel it till eventually he broke into laughter, and that's when he knew the energy had shifted. And I loved that. It actually taught me that I felt like I wasn't going into things as much as I could. I have other ways of dealing with emotion, and my main way is dance. So when I feel emotion, I put on a song and I move it through my body, because emotion is emotion, energy in motion. So when you're feeling something, move it through the body. And if you're feeling rage, you can just like thrust it through your body. You can shake it out. You can make noises and get it out. You can punch pillows. If you're feeling sad, you can move and you can cry and you can hug yourself, and whatever it is that you need to do to get that energy out of the body. Breath work is another amazing tool, whether it's like holotropic breath work, where it's, you know, guided by somebody. And I mean, I have huge releases when I do this. I did a session the other day and I was screaming and crying, releasing all these things, and I didn't know why or where it was coming from. It didn't matter. It was stuck in my body. But even just normal breathing, your whole body softens, and just consciously like breathing into places where you feel pain, or thinking about something. And I love to do, so when my kidneys hurt, I focus on inhaling love or joy and exhaling fear, because that's what's connected to the kidney. Or if I'm feeling anger, maybe I'll breathe into my liver, which is on the right hand side here, and I will breathe in love again. I mean, I tend to work with love the most, and I exhale the anger or the resentment or the guilt, and I exhale it out. And just by consciously doing that is a beautiful tool. So there's some of my favorite tips for releasing trauma from the body. How often to do dry brushing and why? So I do dry brushing every morning if I remember. It's not always possible, and that's okay. But dry brushing is incredible for supporting the lymphatic system. And I really need to make a video about the proper way to dry brush. But I'll quickly share with you. I always start with my left armpit. And I do circular motions this way, and then circular motions the other way. And then I brush towards that armpit. I pull down here, and I do under my breastline, under here. And I do the same on the other side. And then on my hip joints, I do circles. And then I brush up my legs to that hip point. And then on my bum, I brush into that hip point. And then I do my stomach. And the stomach, I always start when I go in the direction that I eliminate, which is, hold on. So I go from the bottom, I go right, then I go up, and then I go to the left, and then I go down. We eliminate on our left side. So we want to be pushing. Imagine you're pushing the poop, pushing it down. So yeah, I hope that helps. But dry brushing is an incredible tool. Other ways of supporting the lymphatic system are rebounding on a trampoline, shaking the body, movement exercises, all those types of things, and sweating, saunas, exercise, all of that. Why do I have cravings? I'm not going to go into this too much because I have shared a great article in the group, but I will briefly touch on sugar and salt cravings. So sugar cravings, we crave sugar because we're designed to have sugar. We're designed to have carbohydrates, which is fruit. Fruit is what we're designed to have, and if we don't have enough fruit in our diet, we're going to crave carbohydrates in other ways because our body is just looking for that, and that can include things like pasta and breads and things like that too. So I really, really strongly recommend that you add in as much of fruit as possible and see how you feel, and that sugar craving eventually goes away. And there's parasites and pathogens that feed off these sugars, which is often why people say anti-candida diet, no sugar, and they stop the fruit. But the fruits are actually going to heal the candida. It's actually going to help pull it out of the body. It's going to help the parasites and stuff leave the body. So I know it's a big shift if you've been in this world where you've been told I can't have fruit and I can't have sugar. I understand, I've been there, and I'm happy to talk about this as much as possible until you start to feel it. But experiment with your body. That is the proof. That's how I know that it works, because that's what worked for me. So I really recommend that you give it a go. And salt cravings, this is a sign of your adrenals. If you're craving salt, it's quite likely that your adrenals are fatigued, and we've all got this, so it's nothing to worry about. But salt is something that you will crave if you're going through that. So there's a reason that I cut it back on the diet, because having the salt isn't helping you. It's going to further stimulate you. So by eliminating it, it's going to support that. But also taking herbs to support the adrenals, doing things to help calm you down, not doing too much exercise, not working too much, not doing anything that makes you feel stressed. It's going to calm yourself down. And what's going to happen is eventually over time that craving will diminish. If you're really craving it, have just a tiny bit and have it in moderation. It's not that you need to cut it completely. Seaweeds are incredible for more ways than one, but they're also going to be great for giving you that salty taste as well. So yeah. Will I be able to eat normal foods after detoxing, like dairy and gluten? I kind of touched on this already. I should have grouped it up earlier, but ultimately you just won't want to. But in saying that, you will be able to better digest them. And yes, you will be able to have them from time to time if you really want to. But like I said, you just probably won't really want to. And you will notice that you won't feel great after them, but you'll feel a lot better than you previously did. So it's nice that you can maybe have it as a sometimes food and occasionally have it. Just be mindful when you start opening up and having these things again that it doesn't form a new habit and you start having them. Just because maybe you feel good when you have it, it doesn't mean it's good for your body, and you're going to undo all of the work that you've done. So yeah, like if you really decide I want to eat meat again, well maybe just have it once a month and have a treat meal and go to your favorite restaurant and have a steak if that's what you want. You know, there's no judgment here. This is your experience in your life, and do what makes you feel good. Oh, we're getting there. This is great. I'm up to my last question. I'm really beautiful that someone asked me about this. I shared a photo of me holding my breasts on my Instagram, talking about the breast and heart connections. I'm really pleased we have a little bit of time to talk about this before I finish up. So women have an extra meridian point across their breastline, which is designed to protect the baby when they breastfeed. And women, you know, their breasts stick out of their chest. So it's literally like an extension of their heart. And that's how we penetrate the world. We penetrate the world with our breasts. That's how we respond. And that's what men see in us too. You know, they look at our breasts. And what can happen is if we're maybe shying away or we're playing it small, we can disconnect from that power, so to speak. And men penetrate the world with their cock, with their penis. And I don't want to offend anybody with these words. I hope that's okay me talking about this. If not, this is the last part of the video. Feel free to disconnect. But I've done quite a bit of tantra training, and this is something that I'm very passionate about. And I think suppressed sexuality is a big reason why a lot of us are having problems, just like suppressing emotions. We suppress our sexuality, and we are highly sexual beings, and that's okay. So there's no shame in talking about sex and our bodies. We all have breasts and cocks and bums and vaginas, you know. So I lost all sensitivity in my breasts, and this is for many reasons, I feel. But number one, I wasn't giving them any love or attention. We hold a lot of lymphatic stagnation in our breasts, and you know, if you're getting like sore breasts before your period, this is a sign that they're talking to you. They're saying, hey, something's not right, listen to me. Breast massage is super powerful to help them open up again and to bring back that sensitivity, because they should be sensitive. And your breasts are directly connected to your yoni or your vagina, whatever it is that we like to call it. Yoni is the Sanskrit name for vagina. And it's directly connected. So if you're not feeling any sensitivity here, highly likely you're not going to be feeling as much sensitivity down there, and you may be limited in the types of orgasms that you can have and the pleasure that you're able to receive. So breast massage is a really beautiful practice to help you reconnect, and in doing so, you reconnect with your heart, and your heart is your intuition center. So as you can see, I talk a lot about intuition. It's a huge passion of mine, and so is self-love and loving others unconditionally. And this is something that I'm rising in more and more every day, to practice unconditional love for myself and others. And this expansion of my heart recently and the numbness of my breast feels like further learning and further growth in that area. So really blessed. I really feel honored to be rising so much and having the opportunity to be able to go into this. So yeah, but doing good. I've got 5 more minutes, so I'll start to wrap up now. So that was perfect. So thank you for all of your questions. If you would like me to do this again, please let me know if you've got more questions. I feel it's a great way for me to answer things this way by doing what you need and sharing what you need. So thank you for all of those beautiful questions. I absolutely loved answering them. We're currently at level 2 of the detox. So we'll be gearing up for level 3 very, very soon. And in level 3, we start to eliminate more things and go into more of a fasting state. And this is where the true healing can happen. There is no pressure to go into this. You could even try half a day or a day just to give it a go, but there's no pressure. This is your journey, and you can come back anytime and you can do this all over again, and you can go deeper when you're ready. But just listen to your body and do not push it. And if you're unsure, ask, am I ready for this? Should I go into this? I'm not sure. Because obviously there could be fear coming up, and that's very warranted. Listen to that. Oh, I'm so grateful for all of you. I'm loving the group. I'm loving all your contributions, and oh, so grateful. Sending you all so much love. Please let me know if you've got any questions. I'm loving you all so much. Have a beautiful day, night, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'm sending you so much love.